By piece, the state's case against Casey Anthony is now coming into focus. Prosecutors releasing new evidence, including a startling interview with Casey's grandmother. Casey Anthony sits behind bars charged with the murder of her daughter, Kaylee.
And tonight, thanks to the newly released evidence, we have insight into what the state believes was Casey's motive for the crime. We have big coverage of the big story. Amanda Ober standing by with new details of Casey's alleged marijuana use. But we start with Bob Keeling and more on what was a very interesting exchange between Casey's grandmother and detectives. Bob?
Yeah, Jim, no doubt about it. For the first time, one of Casey's own family members suggested that the hatred that Casey had for her own mother was stronger than the love she had for Kaylee. Was that a motive for murder? In an August interview with investigators, Casey's maternal grandmother, Shirley Placia, detailed the financial and emotional turmoil in the Anthony family, the rivalry between Casey and Cindy, with Kaylee caught in the middle. Placia told investigators Casey charged up to $45,000 on credit cards in her parents' name. Just before Kaylee's disappearance, Placia said Cindy made it known to her that she planned to seek custody of Kaylee. Cindy wanted to be in charge of Kaylee, Placia told investigators, even if she had to sell the house and move into an apartment. In the new evidence, a childhood friend detailed, quote, extreme arguments between Casey and Cindy. I just wondered, Placia told investigators, whether she hated her mom more than she loved Kaylee. When they asked if Casey would intentionally harm Kaylee to spite her mother, Placia told them no. But in the days after Kaylee disappeared, Placia believes Casey did intentionally torment Cindy by breaking promise after promise to bring Kaylee home. To get the truth, Placia suggested it might do Casey some good to get beat up in jail. After all the stealing and the lies, Placia told investigators her last words with Casey were, "I love you, but I don't like you." Now, investigators asked Casey's maternal grandmother and others in this newly released evidence, was there some sort of big fight between Casey and her mother before Kaylee's disappearance? No one was able to identify a single triggering event between the two. Let's go back to you, Jim.
Bob, thanks. We continue our big story team coverage now with Amanda Ober. And Amanda, you looked over transcripts that detail Casey's alleged drug use.
That's right. A roommate who lived with Casey and her boyfriend in that month right before Casey was arrested claims that Casey had developed a nightly pot habit.
According to a roommate of Casey Anthony's boyfriend, during the month Casey lived with them, she was smoking pot. Cameron Campina told detectives at first Casey was teased into taking just one or two hits from a marijuana pipe, but he said it soon became a nightly thing. And after they smoked, Casey would cook for everyone. In other documents, a longtime friend of Casey's, Melina Calabrese, said after Casey gave birth to Kaylee, Casey told her the father was Casey's fiancé at the time, Jesse Grund. But when Jesse and Casey broke up, Casey changed her story. Casey then told Calabrese the real father was a man named Josh from Georgia, whom she'd met at Universal and had a one-night stand with. Casey claimed Josh was already planning to marry another woman with whom he had children, so they only kept in contact for a short time. Casey also said Josh was later killed in a car crash shortly after Kaylee's second birthday.
Now, Calabrese also told detectives that the Casey she was seeing on the news every night didn't seem like the same childhood friend that she had grown up with. She said when she saw the photos of Casey out partying at nightclubs, all she could think was that Casey was trying very hard to be someone she wasn't. Amanda Ober reporting, WESH 2 News.